Hello guys, welcome back to Sun Crypto. In today's content, we're going to talk about BTC, we're going to talk about altcoins, we're going to talk about gold, silver, Ethereum, and all of that good stuff, all right? So make sure to hit the likes, make sure to join our public Telegram group, link in the description. Market is looking very bad as of now, but we're going to talk about it if this is basically a healthy pullback or it is just a a start of a big downtrend. We're going to talk about all of that good stuff, all right? So now let's start off with BTC. As you can see, like yesterday, I know it was very tense. If you're a bear, price was pushing to the upside, but on the lower degree, it wasn't pushing that hard. Okay, because last night when I saw BTC when BTC was like at 14K roughly, just about like a 13,850 and so on, price only moved like less than 0.3%, something like that, in like 10 hours. So I wasn't comfortable with this move. So I kept basically looking for some short position on alt, keep shorting alt. Did not touch BTC because it could have spiked. We could have basically we could see like a big spike to the upside. So I was very cautious like in this range, but alt setup was basically very bearish. So I just kept like basically adding shorts to alt, because alt looking very bad as of now, right? So BTC lower degree, we getting a slight correction. Basically I call this like the Zeus method. Whenever you get a big sell-off to the downside, the first pullback basically to the 201 EMA on your 15 minutes time frame, most of the time it is a good short scalp opportunity, right? So you could look for like a nice short right there, and then basically if we pump back up to the upside, we got the 100 EMA on the 15 minutes, most likely going to be rejecting the price. So that's a lower degree correction. It could also be a flat correction, which is price coming back down and retesting the top right there, and most likely the 100 EMA on the 15 minutes going to be decreasing right there, and price gonna basically get rejected once again, and we're gonna see more sell off to the downside, right? But let's take a look at basically the 3-day chart and 2-day chart, right? Hey, what's up, Sweet Canary? So when you take a look at the 2-day chart, candle gonna close in 5 hours, right? Less than 5 or 6 hours, right? Stuff like that. So it's not gonna look good if we close the candle like that, right? So as you know, especially if like we close below 13K and so on within the next 5 hours, it's not gonna look good at all. But however, if we close green, most likely the bull's gonna be pushing back up to like a 10.5. At least try to retest 50% of this week to the upside. It is something like the bulls most likely going to be capable of doing, retesting like a 13.5 and 13.7 and so on, right? So that's the next level we're going to be paying attention to if this candle closes like this, all right? So it means we're going to have to wait till the daily candle close, right? Which is like the 2-day chart, because the 2-day chart going to close in 5-6 hours, right? So after the daily candle close, we're going to basically reevaluate and see if BTC can spike back up to like a 13.5 and 13.7. That's why I'm not entering a short right now, even though the lower degree looks pretty juicy and so on, right? So now let's take a look at the 3-day chart. 3-day chart similar to the basically 2-day chart, but it's going to close like in like just about like 30 hours, right? Basically tomorrow. So which means like the 2-day chart can close bearish, but the 3-day chart might close bullish. So it is going to give us a mix of basically bullishness and bearishness. So we just have to be very cautious, right? And once again, as long as price is above, the daily, the 2-day 21 EMA, right? Market is still bullish. Okay, it is still bullish. So it could be a healthy pullback all the way down to the daily 2-day 21 EMA, which is right there, just about like 11.7, but it is going to be moving. Okay, it's going to be pushing to the upside just about this area. It could be like, if the sell-off is slow, the 21 EMA could intercept the price right there, just about like a 12.3. So I would not be anticipating like a big sell-off. Can we get one? Absolutely. But as long as we staying above the 2-day 21 EMA, we just the bears just don't have a the bears won't have a a very strong argument like to say, hey, we're going to be dipping lower, all right? It is something like you got to keep in mind. I mentioned it like when BTC was right there, just about like the first week of October, October 5th, October 6th. I said it, if we pump to the upside and basically close cleanly above the daily, the 2-day 21 EMA and MACD crosses bullish, we just have to suck it up, right? And if we're shorting, we're gonna basically have to put a tight stop loss and all of that good stuff, because the bull's gonna be in control over this yellow line right there, right? So something like we just gotta keep in mind. So another thing also we gotta keep in mind is like the 7-day chart. It is very, very important. I keep talking about it. Most of the time, the 7-day chart is very, very important, because I know most people just pay attention to the weekly. I mean, it is 7 days, it is weekly, whatever, right? But the 7-day chart just started, yesterday, right? So can we get a tweezer top, which means like we could be seeing a sell-off, right? Over the next like 5 days, because this candle gonna close like next Tuesday, Wednesday, right? Next Tuesday. So we could possibly see a drop all the way down, all right, over the next 5 days, and so on. So keep in mind, we got a very, very strong support right there. Okay, it is going to be a very, very strong support. I don't see like the bulls once again, okay, giving up this level of like a 12k easily, right? Unless we get like a very big volume coming in, selling pressure, the bulls most likely going to give up, because if the selling pressure is high enough, they're going to give up. Okay, so if you're a bear, you still need to wait, right? You just don't have enough evidences, right, to say, hey, we're going to be dipping down below 10k. You got a lot of steps to basically watch, right? You got a lot of basically indicators, moving averages, price level you need to watch before you basically say, hey, it is time to be a doom boy. It's not time yet, right? It is not time yet. So let me see. Okay, guys, let me know if you guys can if the sound is good. Everything is good, right, guys? So I think everything is good. So it is telling me like we're getting I'm getting an error on my streaming, whatever, right? So let's keep that in mind, right? The pullback could be healthy for now until we basically break 12k, right? So now let's take a look at basically the weekly, the good weekly time frame right now, right? So weekly time frame once again, right? So 98 basically to 10k was like previous support right there. The weekly is now moving fast, right? And we just about like 11k right now. Okay, so the bulls now they looking strong. Okay, they looking strong. And even if you go back in 2015 right there, after we pumped to the upside, BC never basically dipped below the 21 weekly moving average. Okay, never dipped below it, right? So in order to basically stay bullish, we got to be able to say, hey, if we get like two candles, right, closing below the weekly 21, it is going to be doom time. We're most likely going to see a big sell-off, just like what we got right there. Okay, right there. Okay, we closed below it, even though we pumped back 50% of the sell-off candle. It was like a 2 candles closing below the weekly 21 EMA. We got a dump. Similarly, right there. Okay, we got 2 candles closing below it. I was expecting the drop to continue, right? But we got the 40% pump, and then basically got the continuation to the downside. Same thing right here, right? Right there. We got 2 candles closing below it. Even though we pump back up, you just gotta basically suck it up to understand like the pump back up. It is just a a normal pullback. Okay, it is going to be a normal pullback and all of that good stuff, not a bull market continuation and all of that good stuff. All right. So basically now let's take a look at the quarterly chart. Quarterly chart is very, very important, guys. We talk about the quarterly chart, and as you can see right there, we talked about it last year, right? When BC pumped to like a 13,888, right? And we basically pumped back to the same exact level. Okay, 13,864, missed it by 16 points, right? It is still the same exact level. So next level we're gonna be watching over the next few weeks and so on. It is like we got to be able to close above this range. If you're a bull, right, you're going to make a very, very strong case, right? We're closing above like a 14K. That's it. We don't have no more resistance. Every single dip going to be a buying opportunity, not a selling opportunity. You see what I'm saying? So closing above 14K at any given time over the next few weeks, few months, and so on, it is like a bull trend, okay? A bull trend. So let's just keep that in mind for the next few weeks and so on, right? So the 50-day chart just started, and we talk about how the 50-day chart is very, very important. Just like back in 2017, right? So if you take a look at it back in 2017, we started like October 27th, right? The 50-day candle, and bang, all the way up to like December 16, right? December 17. So we got a nice like 99% like a body candle. So are we gonna get the same thing? If we're gonna be getting like similar structure, a 50-day bullish candle all the way up to some crazy numbers, it is going to be extremely bullish, because we most likely okay going to break 20K. I'm not saying we will, but if the bulls okay stay above 12K, right, and break 14K over the next 50 days, right, we're gonna see like a new all-time high. Okay, we're gonna see a new all-time high. So it is something like we just gotta keep in mind, regardless if you're bullish or bearish. If we pump above 14K, no more resistance, okay, on the 50-day candle. And we know every single 50-day candle, the last 50-day candle of every year, it is actually, most of the time, okay, the most volatile candle, okay, the most volatile candle. You take a look at it right there, 2017, we got one right there. That's 2017. We got one right there, but that was back in 2018, and we got one right there back in basically 2013. You can see like how volatile these candles are. Okay, very, very volatile, right? Extremely volatile. So it is something that we just got to keep in mind. What's up, Alibaba? The worst case is 12K. You could be right, but let's just wait and see. I just showed you all the possibilities you could be anticipating to the downside. Once again, bulls still looking strong until we basically break below the 2-day 21 EMA, and that in that case, you just have to basically suck it up, right? You just have to basically suck it up. So let's go back to the lower degree before we talk about the altcoins, right? So lower degree, 6-hour 21 EMA, a very, very important key, a very, very important moving average. But we got a nice divergence right now. The divergence is clean both on the MACD and RSI, and also we got a crossover on our MACD. So we're gonna need basically price to break the 21 EMA to come from like the bearishness, right? So that's one of the reasons why I'm not even shorting BTC right now. I'm shorting alt, but I'm not touching BTC because I'm like, it can spike up. I just showed you like on the on the 2-day chart, if we close like this, most likely price gonna try to retest like a 13.5. So I'm just gonna be cautious, right? Not saying it will, but I will see what we're gonna get before I basically take a short on BTC, because you can get a nice 2 to 3% pump right there, and then basically take a nice entry and look for at least a retest of your basically 100 EMA on your 6-hour. That's going to be our next support area we're going to be watching over the next few weeks and so on. So key area, once again, on the lower degree to watch, okay, if you're looking for a short position, it is just about this level, okay, let's say 13.5 on average. Okay, that's the next level to try to keep an eye on. If we do not get it, it is still okay. If we get the breakout to the downside, we still can take it. It could be a good confirmation, because that's the only thing we need. We just need price to break the 6-hour 21 EMA. Okay, that's one thing we're gonna need at least over the next few hours and so on. And as you can see on the 8 hours, also 8 hour, also we not breaking the 21 EMA, so not a strong sell-off so far, right? Not a strong sell-off. down we go, dump to 10K. So let's see if we're going to be able to dump to 10K. So now let's take a look at basically gold before we talk about other good stuff. So as you can see, gold, I gave you guys my analysis regarding gold. Like almost like 3 weeks ago, I told you guys gold gonna be dipping down. We're not yet at 1353 to 1321, but I showed you clearly. All right, if you take a look at the dollar is telling you exactly what gold going to be doing. We're gonna talk about this good stuff also. That's altcoin, one of the reasons why alt is looking very, very bearish. But if you take a look at the dollar, I showed you like couple months ago before gold dropped down, right? I was like, if you take a look at the dollar and gold, right? The dollar already gives you guys a nice setup, all right? I was anticipating this drop from gold, right? I was like, we're gonna drop down here and then we're gonna make this bear flag and then we're gonna dip down lower, right? Why? Because the dollar already showed us, right? We're gonna be dropping, right? And then we're gonna make a nice bull flag, a bear flag, excuse me, right? And then we're gonna dip lower. So that's what I was expecting from. That's what I'm expecting from gold, right? So if you're bullish on, if you've been like a very bullish on gold, because gold was making some nicer high lows right there, you're gonna be like, oh, we're making high lows, so we're gonna be pumping to the upside and all of that good stuff. This sucker gonna dump, right? This sucker gonna dump. I was pretty much very confident we're gonna be breaking this trend line and looking to retest this level for a temporary support. All right, so let's just keep that in mind. So now let's go ahead and take a look at altcoin right now, Ethereum. Let's start off with the dollar again. All right, so let's talk about the dollar first. So when you take a look at the dollar, I'm still bearish on the dollar, right? Even though we broke above the trend line, which is still good, right? But once again, like I said, we could possibly get a WXY correction, right? We could possibly get a WXY correction, which means like we're gonna get this 1, 2, 3, right? This could be a 1, 2 right here, and then we're gonna get the third wave right there. Okay, and then after that we're going to be looking to another move to the upside, right? It is very possible we could possibly get it like that, or we could just get a 1, 2, 3, right? And then this could be 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to get this move to the upside. Either way you look at it, right, we're going to get another big move to the upside. The thing is, are we going to drop down to this green box to basically double bottom before we pump in, before we pump to the upside and break the daily 100 EMA and basically try to retest like the 2-day 100 EMA, which is like 95, 96 and so on, right? So let's just keep that in mind. The dollar still not looking bad, and if you take a look at it on the 2-day chart, the 2-day 21 EMA is basically rejecting the price. So we definitely got another chance to basically see another dip right here, which means like BTC could pump back up, right? So let's just keep that in mind. So now let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum. So Ethereum, still I'm bearish on Ethereum now, but it is not on a 2-day basis. It's still not breaking this key area. So Ethereum, you take a look at Ethereum, right? We long Ethereum from like 390, 388, 395 range all the way up to 420, and then took some profit, put a stop loss, and this sucker came down and basically hit our stop loss right there, right at entry, and pumped back up. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna long it. I'm just gonna wait till we break at least 413, 415, and so on. It didn't. Okay, it just dumped to the downside. Now it is double bottoming, so it is bearish. However, one thing you just got to be able to keep in mind, like we could get this move back up from Ethereum and make a lower high right there, okay, or even double top right there before we get any further move to the upside. So if you're bearish on Ethereum, keep an eye on Ethereum for a possible push back up. I'm not saying we're going to do it, but it is something that you should expect. So if we get another fake out to the upside, you're not going to be panicking, because we can still pump back up to like a 408 to even like a 410. So you got to be able to put your stop loss just about, you know, 413 to 415 range, and basically just protect yourself in case like a you know, it invalidate the bearish setup and decide to push to the upside, right? So but if like we break this trend line right there, okay, if like we break this trend line, that it is going to be a stronger basically bearish pattern. So it might take forever to break the trend line right there. So let's just keep that in mind, right? You also, you know, if you want to take a look at it in a wave analysis, you also got a nice WXY/XZ correction. So you just have to anticipate a move right there. So I was expecting the move to be higher, up to like a 450, 460 area, but it seems like we're not going to get it, right? But let's see, okay? Let's see if we're going to be able to get it, because everything is basically pointing down for now. But the downward pressure could be stronger if we break this trend line. Right now, it is not that strong. That's why I'm basically just, you know, saying like, let's put a stop loss at 411 in case, you know, it pump back up. So we're going to be okay, because we can basically, you know, look for a further move to the upside, or just wait till we break the trend line and then we just take it to the downside, right? Either way you look at it, you know, we're going to get high volatility range in this range, right? Hey, what's up, Spidey? Thanks a lot for tuning in, man. So now let's go ahead and take a look at basically Kava. So Kava took a short yesterday, right, on Kava after we broke this trend line. I've been watching it over the last few days and so on. Even though it was a nice triple bottom, but you take a look at it on the 6 hour, 8 hour, right? I showed you guys this pattern, and I was like, you know, if you get, you know, a big sell-off right there, and you're gonna get a very, very low volume, right? One thing you gotta keep in mind, if you get, the volume is low, candle is green, it means most likely price going to be dropping lower. So as soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, let me just suck it up, because I know it is a triple bottom, right? But price is below the below the support area, so you just have to suck it up. It is kind of dangerous, because it can basically pump to the upside and basically wick to the upside, stuff like that. But we just have to put a stop loss, because you gotta understand, guys, market is very crazy, and you do not expect to win every trade. So sometimes you just have to suck it up. If you see a pattern, you're 80% confident, you just take it, all right? Because, you know, the worst case scenario is like you're 80% confident. That's the worst case scenario, right? And you got your stop loss, right? So Kava, I'm looking for like just about like 140 and all the way down to like a 120, but I don't think it's going to be a straight sell-off. It could be like a kind of like a V-chain, when I was looking for V-chain to drop low, but V-chain dropped halfway and give us another push back up, retest this trend line before dropping lower again, right? So look for a possible support just about like a 140 first, right? Before looking for 120 and so on. So next thing we're going to basically take a look at, it is going to be SNX. SNX, it is basically similar structure. I did not touch it yet, but I showed you guys. I'm watching it carefully. It could spike to the upside right there, right up to like a $5, but I'm just gonna wait till we break basically the trend line. We broke it, but basically spike back up just like Kusama, right? Basically pump to the upside. So let's see, as soon as we break this one engulfingly, it is going to be a nice short opportunity. However, even if we break above like a 390, you could basically suck it up and basically try to take it to like a 460 and so on. But since like the market is bearish right now, it is better to basically wait for it to go with the market, and then you basically take it to the downside all the way down to like a $3 to like a 2.8 and so on, right? So it could be a nice very impulsive wave to the downside if we do not get any pump to the upside, right? You see what I'm saying? So we could get a very, very nice sell-off just like a Kava and so on, right? That's what I'm looking for. So basically just have to wait till we basically break it. So I wouldn't enter a short right now. It'll be very, very aggressive, right, to enter a short right now. So we talked about Carver, SNX. So now let's take a look at NEO, because if you watch NEO, right, on our previous analysis, so we said a NEO next target going to be just about like $16 right there. So $16 going to be the, you know, next support, right? So if we break $16, you know what we're going to be looking for. It is going to be just about like a 12.5. So now we're breaking 16, right? But it is not going to be a straight sell-off. Once again, expect some sort of like a three-way move pullback. It doesn't mean you're going to get it, but just expect it. So if you're shorting it right now, make sure to be cautious. You got your 8 hour basically, you know, 8 hour 201 EMA approaching, you know, the support level. So if we spike to the upside, we're probably going to get some rejection just about like a 17.2 to 17.5, right? So upside target, we did not get any support, but upside target when NEO was right there. If we I was like, if we break this key area, we could be looking for you know, 50% pullback to 0.618, but you know, we broke support, so we just have to suck it up, forget about this one, and basically move with the downtrend, right, which is basically going with the market. So let's go ahead and take a look at basically SXP. Okay, so SXP, it is still moving sideways, not doing much, right? So you might be thinking like it is doing crazy stuff, but it already dropped like since like the 2026, right? It already did the good stuff. Nice dump. It is just moving sideways. So you know, you might be saying, oh, this sucker is dumping. It's not dumping. It's just fluctuating 10%, all right, up and down from like 91 to 92. So we're gonna need for like SXP to break this key area, and then we're gonna be looking for like a, you know, low 80, you know, 80 cents to like a high 90 cents, high 70 cents, right? So, but as of now, it is still correcting on the 8 hour. We're gonna need for, you know, SXP to basically break this key area below like you know, break below 91, 93. All right. So it is a descending triangle. You could possibly say, hey, I'm gonna be looking for 1-to-1 extension right there, right? And then you're gonna be looking for, after that, you're gonna be looking for like low 70. Just about 73, right? Just about 73. But let's wait till we break like 90 cents, and then you can take it to the downside, right? You can take it to the downside easily. Is it too early to call top on Litecoin? So LTC, it could already top out. It could already topped out LTC USDT. So so LTC USDT, last time we talked, we said it might be too early to call for a top, because the top formation, yes, you got a double top right there, but it is still a three-way move structure, okay, with a nice you know, nice flat correction. So you just have to wait till it basically overextend, right, break this green line, which is like 53, and then you're gonna be like, oh, we can definitely go lower right now. Okay, but as of now, that's the only thing I can basically that's how I would basically analyze it. And you could say, hey, we could get this move, right? However, if we overextend, right, just like Ethereum, I'm going to show you Ethereum yesterday on the lower degree. Ethereum gave us the same structure. I was scalping it actually, right? But I got out too early, because as soon as I saw the double top, I basically started shorting, right? And then it double bottom right there. I got out, and then it dipped lower. You see what I'm saying? I was like, man, I should have stayed in. But you just got to basically suck it up and basically follow your strategy. Can it go lower? Yes, right? Yes. So if you get a big sell-off down to like 53, 54, you just know it might be the top. But if you get a strong support, just suck it up and wait. You could either get a triple top, or you can get another pump right there in this red box. You just don't know, okay? But the major trend line you need to watch for Litecoin is like this one right there. Okay, it is going to be a good level of support. Even if you drop lower and you're scared to short it, you might be like, okay, I'm gonna wait. I still got enough time, because market is pretty bearish, right? I still got enough time to wait for Litecoin to give us a you know, some sort of pullback right there, and I'm going to take a short, and then we're going to basically take it to the upside, right? Take it to the downside, not upside. So let's take a look at basically Tether, right? Because in our premium group, we were shorting Tether while BTC was going up. So we are taking a short on Tether, right? So not recalculated. So it was kind of crazy, but instead of basically long in the market, BTC was pumping 3-4%. I was looking for you know, these alt. I was looking to short this alt, and basically we entered Tether right there, just about like 65, 66, as you can see. And I'm looking for this double bottom and a possible pullback. So one of the reasons why I'm not that bearish, like below 59, because we could possibly get this move back up, right, before dropping lower, right? Because that's the top formation. So the most likely scenario is like to get a flat correction before continuation, right? It is very common to see it. After a top formation, you get a flat correction next to it. You don't get it all the time, right? But this move alone is good enough to call it a correction. We could call this one 1, 2, 3 a zigzag, and then we could drop lower. But just to be safe, it's like to take profits right here. And if you see like a strong buying pressure, a strong divergence, price doesn't want to break it, you suck it up and flip long and take it back up to the upside. And the next move down gonna be very fast. Okay, remember, after a flat correction, you tend to get like a very impulse move down, and look for this and then down, right? So that's the setup I'm looking for Tether. Let's see if we're gonna get it 59 to 58. We already hit like 60 cents. That's good enough. Like already dumped like from 66. That's a nice you know, 8%, right? That's pretty good, and that's what I was looking for. 8 to basically you know, 8 to 12%. We already got 8%, so that's pretty good, right? So time to close maybe 60% of the position, and basically put a stop loss somewhere you're not gonna get hurt, and then basically enjoy the ride all the way down to like a 58 and so on, right? So the next one we're going to take a look at, it is going to be RCL, because we also took a short on RCL, right? RLC, sorry, Isaac. RLC, okay. So so RLC, we also took a nice short, right? As soon as it broke this key area on the 8-hour basis, right, just about like 85, 86, so on, right? We basically suck it up and said we're gonna be taking it. I'm gonna take it all the way down to like a 78 to a 775. I was paying attention to basically the trend line. That time I did not post the trend line right there, but when I was doing the analysis, I knew, okay, if we hit like basically 80 cents and so on, we might face a tough time to break it. So as soon as we hit like 81, you know, I sent a signal and I said, guys, let's close 60%, right, of the position and see what we're going to get next, okay, and put a stop loss at entry. So it pumped back up, and I recognized it like it was bearish. I basically suck it up again and basically just enter another short again. So it is still playing, and we're most likely going to be looking to break this 78 and even drop all the way down to the trend line. Okay, I don't like to give like big targets, because if you give like a big target, most people are basically going to be FOMOing. So I like to give like 8 to 12%, not like, you know, sometimes you give 25%, like our Zelica short right now is 25% target. But let's see if we're going to be able to get this one next after we break this trend line, right? But I'm watching it very, very, very carefully, right? So DOT, we talked about DOT last time also. Let's see. We talked about DOT last time, right? And we said we already pulled back up to 50%. So it is going to be a soft rejection just about this key area, but the hard rejection was going to be like a, you know, 5.4 to 5.5, which is like, you know, 0.618. I think somebody was saying like he was shorting DOT anyway. So if you already shorted it, that was good. So you're still looking good. All you have to do is just suck it up, put a stop loss at entry, and let the market do the work, because it can still pull back up right there 50% to 0.618, and you could look for add-on if we break this trend line right there to a double bottom. So I was kind of surprised to see DOT breaking out, right, to the upside, because you take a look at Uniswap, SXP, and all of that good stuff. They've been dropping, and DOT, Uniswap, and SXP, I like to trade them because they got similar structure. They like to double bottom together and they like to pump together. So, but DOT kind of basically surprised me, and basically not surprised me, but I would say like did not basically follow the trend, but I knew it's gonna come back down. Okay, it was just a matter of time, right? If we were gonna pump to like 5.4 and so on, right? But it is still bearish right now, so let's see if we're going to be able to double bottom right there, just about like 3.6. okay, that's the next level to keep an eye on, right, for DOT. So next one we're going to talk about, it is going to be Atom Cosmos, right, because we took a short also on Cosmos, Atom USDT. So not you. So we took a nice short on Atom, right? So as soon as we broke this key area, right, I was like, guys, we're gonna suck it up. Okay, volume, even though volume is kind of big, right, it is okay. I was watching it like since like we broke this trend line. I was just watching it, like I did not take any trade because I knew, right, we could possibly get some tough time to basically drop all the way down to 0.618. So I was just watching over the last few days and so on. It was doing all this crazy stuff, right? And I was like, just it's not moving. It's just moving sideways, no breakout. So we're most likely gonna get a breakout, right? Because the entire move down here was a correction. So I haven't seen any breakout to the downside. So we broke this key area, which was like 382 pullback, which is like 5.1, 5.2. I just basically said, guys, let's suck it up and try to take it down to like 4.6. So we're still looking good. 5.1, 5.2, all the way down to current level. You're looking at it like a good 8%, and I'm looking for like 8 to 12%. So we still got a chance to basically hit a 0.618, which is like 4.6, right? So next one we're going to be looking at, it is going to be storage. So storage, I was the biggest bear for storage, but I told you guys about the story regarding storage. It is breaking support right there, storage BTC, but I'm more interested about storage USDT. So storage USDT, kind of, it was a very aggressive short, right? But sometimes you have to suck it up, right? Because storage, I had a target to basically 35, 34 when storage was right there. It gave us the pump, so I kind of basically was like, okay, I'm gonna let it consolidate and all of that good stuff, and I completely forget about it. And the sucker kept dropping, and I was like, man, I don't want to enter it right now. But right there we got the flat correction, right? We got the dump to the downside, we got the three-way move pullback, and a big sell-off to the downside. I was like, guys, okay, we gotta take this one, okay? So the day before yesterday, right, when it was like 35.85, something like that, and I was like, okay, we gotta suck it up, 35.85, let's suck it up. Try to take it right there and right there, and it went down like to like a 4.1 and so on, and I was like, guys, okay, it pumped back up, dropped down. I was like, okay, let's flip. Okay, so it dropped back down to like a 4.1, 4.2. We flipped short and took it all the way down. Okay, and took it all the way down. So it came back right here. I was like, let me just be cautious this time, right? So, and it just pumped to the upside, right? So the timing was wrong, but price target wise, right? Let's say if my stop loss was right here, I would have basically hit my target, but my stop loss was too tight. You got to protect yourself, right? You cannot take a big stop loss like that, right? So, but price wise, target was correct. Timing wise, it was kind of like off, right? But very bad. You can see like a big sell off on the 6-hour time frame. not looking good at all. Okay, that's a very big sell-off, right? Very big sell-off. Very big sell-off. So let's go ahead and take a look at Link. So Link, guys, you know, I was long in Link, right? From like right there, like, you know, just about 10.7, 10.9 level. That's when we basically said we're going to be looking for like almost up to like a 13.5. So, but we pumped all the way up to 12.8, 12.9. That was pretty good, 18 to 20% pump. So we took some profits, you know, and I didn't even wait for Link to drop back down to entry. I just was like, you know, 11.8. I was like, Ethereum stop loss got hit, right? So I didn't want to wait for you know, Link stop loss to get hit, right? Because we're already in profit. We already closed 50%, 60% of our position. We only got 40% position left. Like, guys, price is still 10% above entry. Excuse me. Price is still 10% above entry, right? And we got 40% position left. Let's just suck it up and take it and wait for support at basically 10.7. I was supposed to basically flip short, but I didn't want to flip short at right there. So because BTC was still pumping and the structure was not bearish. It's just like the structure is not still that bearish. Okay, it is just a sideways correction, because we can basically easily pump back up to the to this level of you know, $13 and so on. So I wasn't comfortable basically shorted it, so I did not basically take I just took my profit and did not try to do anything crazy right there. But next support level, it is going to be 10.7. I'm going to be watching it. If we break this key area, you know, we just have to suck it up, because you know that's going to be the big target right there, which is like $7 and so on, right? So I know it is kind of crazy to say Link going to be dropping down to $7, but it is a wedge pattern. And if we break it, we just have to go back to the roots, right? Right there, okay? On the macro scale wise, 3-day chart. On the 3-day chart, you take a look at it, we got our basically 3-day 100 EMA, just about like 7.5, right? That's a key level to be paying attention to on a 3-day basis, because our first target for Link was like 7.8, right, which was like the 2-day 100 EMA, when Link was like almost like right there, like a $12. We said that's the level to be looking at, which is like 40% dump. And you can see like we got a nice WXYXZ correction, okay, a possible Z correction, and we could be getting this move back down, okay, something like this. So keep an eye on Link for, you know, a possible you know, retest of basically $7 and so on. Okay, if we break support, we just have to suck it up, because we're most likely going to get lower number. However, if we find a very strong support, we can get this double top right there. Okay, we can get at least a double top right there and get this flat correction. So we don't know which one we're going to get right now. All we know, the move we got right here, it is corrective. Okay, this move is basically corrective, right? So that's the only thing we know, but we could anticipate another drop right there, right? So market is basically taking a big sell-off. So as you can see, also BNB tried to break out and could not basically break you know, this key area of you know, 31, got rejected right around like a 32. So not so good, not looking good. All right, not looking good at all. So let's take a look at Band. Band also was a nice setup in our premium for Satoshi, right? So we got Sats in our premium. So Sats was looking for a Band. So I was like, Band, if we break this red line right here, right, most alt gonna be looking to basically double bottom. But we also we also got you know, a trend line support, which is like 4.3. So if you basically took a short right around like a, you know, 5.4 and so on, you're still looking good. It is a nice 8 to 12% drop. You can either suck it up, take a profit, or basically just wait for further drop to the downside. It's not going to drop linearly once again, so expect another pullback before any drop down here, right? Expect another pullback, right? Because I was like, if we break this green line, we got an upside target. If we break this red line, we got our downside target. So either way you look at it, you could not miss it, right? You gotta, you know, you got two trades you could possibly be looking at, right? So the next big trade is our Zelica trade. I got this set up like over the last few days and so on, been watching it. So we could not basically, you know, we could not enter the trade because we were moving in a triangular formation. So, and I did not want to be too bearish. As you know, BTC was pumping and we could get any of these alt to pump with BTC. So best thing to do, be ready for both sides, right? 18% pump or basically 25% dump. Of course, I'm not going to wait for the entire 25% dump, right? Because, you know, if we basically drop 8 to 12%, I'm going to close a lot of my profits, right? So, but downside target, it is going to be all the way down to the to this level right there. Okay, so we broke like 17.9 right there. We took a short, looking for looking for price to drop right there, right? And we could not basically pump to the upside, so we did not worry about the upside target. Even if we get we had the upside target, we were gonna basically flip short right there. So, but I'm not gonna flip long right here. So I'm just gonna take my profits and basically look for another setup, right? Look for another setup. Hey, what's up, Iceman in the house? Dump on Wednesday. Yes, I mean the dump started like 2 or 3 days ago, because I started like shorting alt like a couple of days ago, right? Even when BTC was pumping, right? Once again, okay, when BTC was pumping, I was like, guys, all right, we shorted at 13,250. It dropped all the way down to like a 12.8, right? Got bought up, took some profit, bring down stop loss got hit. I wasn't comfortable, okay? I was like, man, I really don't want to work too hard, right? For like a 13.5 to 14K, right? That's like 3 to 4%, not even 4%, right? And with this alt, I can hedge, right? And I can basically get like 8 to 12%. Why basically rush chasing BTC for like a 200 point, 300 points when I can get like 8 to 12% on this alt? So I was just focusing on alt, and that's what I did. And we took like a nice 4 trades, Tether, storage, RLC, right? And then basically Atom, right? And I was personally taking Kava. I'm still on Kava short also. So, and all those trades dropped like 8 to 10%. You see what I'm saying? So on average 8 to 10%, and we still got like other trades like Zelica looking to drop much lower if we break this key level of basically 1750. Okay, we just need to break 1750. We already broke like 17.9. We just need to break like 17.5, engulfing it to the downside, especially on a 2-day basis. Looks great. Okay, looks great on a 2-day basis, right? As you can see, we got this big engulfing candle, pump back up, drop, pump back up, drop, pump back up, drop, 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 right? That's what we're looking for. Okay, that's what we're looking for. So most people, they like to FOMO on BTC. I don't FOMO on BTC. Okay, I look for the percentage move, which one is basically more juicy, and that's what I take. Okay, if BTC is gonna pump like 2%, but I see an alt that can pump like 3%, 5, 6%, I'm most likely gonna take that alt, right? So, and if BTC is gonna dump like 10%, but I see an alt that is going to dump like 25, 30%, I'm gonna take that alt, right? So I try not to discriminate about which asset I'm gonna be playing. I'm just playing the pattern. Okay, the pattern is the most important, not the asset. Okay, the asset is just something you can use basically to flip your money, right? Because you don't eat BTC, right? Hey, what's up, Peter? Thanks a lot for tuning in, man. So basically, let's see if we're gonna get this target to the downside. Once again, the downside target it is a 25% move, and most guys don't have the patience to wait 25% because they're leveraging, right? So even if you do like a 3x, you know, it is still good, right? But if we drop like 10%, which is like just about like 16, you got to be able to chop out, you know, take out some profits, and basically, you know, decide to move your stop loss lower and see what market gonna give you next, right? And you can just forget about that trade and just load a position all the way down, not to basically you know, wait for it every single day and watching the price every single minute, right? Stuff like that. So let's take a look at another setup we talked about in our premium, was like TRB. I think Azar in our premium group basically mentioned it. I never traded it, but he mentioned it, and I like the setup. So it pumped the other day, right, on the lower degree. So it was pumping hard, right? So, and I told him one thing you need to keep an eye on is like, if we break above like a $30, suck it up, take it to $40, right? You don't have to do anything. Just watch your white trend line right there. You can see like the white trend line. If we break below it, take it, okay? Take it all the way down to 18, and as you can see, it is dropping pretty much big, and we could drop another 25%, right, from the current level, right? We could drop another 25. I was watching it like yesterday when we broke the 6 hour, 8 hour, 21 EMA, but I was like, okay, let me just follow my analysis, because if I, you know, enter right now, it's like, you know, I'm FOMOing. So it's like I'm FOMOing, right? But we breaking it on 8 hour. That's a good sign, right? So stop loss just has to be just about like 26. I know it's going to be a big one, right? It means like you cannot do 100x, right? But at the same time, you're looking for a 20% drop, so you can put a stop loss just about like 25, right? So, hey, what's up, K4 Liberty in the house? What's the chance like this run is done for BTC? Let's see. Bulls are still in control, right? So you gotta keep that in mind. You know, they're still in control until we basically break the 2-day 21 EMA. You might need to watch the first 15 minutes of the live stream, because I said it like on the 2-day basis, which is like very, very important. If we close this candle red, that's going to be bad. This candle gonna close like in 5 hours, right? And we could, after we close the candle, we could possibly go 50% of this way, okay? Which is like just about like a 13.5, okay? And at the same time, the 3-day chart still not closing yet. We got like another day, you know, to close the 3-day candle. So it means like we just have to watch for the 3-day candle also to close, right? If it closes red, that's going to be great for the bears, right? For the short term, right? It could be great. But if we close it, you know, right there above like 13.7, 13.8 and so on, the bull's gonna get very, very confident, okay? So how we're gonna be closing over the next 2 days, you know, could impact the weekly closing, could impact like the monthly closing and all of that good stuff. So watch out how we're going to be closing over the next, you know, over the next 2 days, okay? 24 to 48 hours. It is going to be it could basically have an impact on the weekly and monthly. You see what I'm saying? Because closing red, not going to be great. If we close this candle like this, right? Why am I using this color? Right, if we close the current candle, the 3-day chart, let's say we close it like this, it is not going to be good at all, right? Even though it's not a weekly candle, but you know, or most of you guys know, this candle is very, very bearish. I don't have to tell you, right? You remember what happened back in 14K last year, right? June 24th, something like that, right? When the monthly candle was closing, I was doing live, right? The weekly candle was also closing at the same time. So I was like, we needed to basically hit 10.2, but we gotta hit 10.2 as soon as possible and pump back up before the weekly candle closed. I remember exactly, right? Most of you guys remember also, but we hit our target 10.2, but could not pump back up to like a 10.6, 10.7, and so on. So we ended up closing red, and that's it. That was it, you know, the start of the bear market. So similar structure. That's the 3-day chart. It might not be like very, very significant, right? But once again, it could play a great role. Okay, it might not be very significant, but it could play a very, very important role, how, you know, on how you're going to be closing the weekly time frame and so on, right? So weekly, we already got our low and high. We just have to worry about like how we're going to close the weekly. That's it. Okay, are we going to close the weekly below like, you know, 12.8, 12.6? That's going to be bad short term, right? And so on, right? But we do not want to go above like a 15 and dropping all the way down to 10, 12 and so on this week. So most likely a low volatility week for the rest of the week, right? So we already pumped to 14K. Ether refused to follow BTC. Yes, Ether, I already talked about Ether. So let's go back to Ether. But I already talked about Ether, and I said that's what I'm looking for Ether. So stop loss right there, just about like a 411 to 413, and we're going to be looking for like 360 to basically 330 area, right? So let's see. Okay, the September 2nd, you might be talking about this drop, this big drop. Yes, that was a big drop. So we gotta be able to eliminate like 430, right? I've been looking for 430 to like 450, 460 area forever, but it seems like the bulls don't want to give it to us. So let's see, if we break 430, that's it, guys. We just don't have any more resistance up to like almost like, you know, $600 and so on, because on a weekly basis, this is not a resistance. It is just a wick, right, to the upside, right? But lower degree, quite important, right? I'm looking for the trend line support right there, right? However, I said it, look for this move right there, right? So if you're shorting right now, right, keep an eye on Ether for a possible pullback to like, you know, 404, 405 and so on, right? It doesn't have to do it once again, right? But it can possibly do it, and you're going to be looking for this move. That way you're going to be very comfortable basically trading it, right? So, but either way you look at it, the move we got right there was pretty strong. So I just have to say, hey, let's just suck it up and put a, you know, short right now, put a stop loss right there. Or if you want to basically be cautious, you'd be like, okay, I'm going to wait for a double top. You can also do that. It's up to you, right? It's up to you. But you know, market is not going anywhere, right? So if you feel comfortable of waiting, you just wait, like a 404, 408 and so on, and basically take it to the downside, right? If you're not comfortable at all, you don't take it, right? You don't take it. You got another trend line support right there, right? If you like trend lines, and you also got a 5-way move in a WXY correction, WXY XZ correction, right? Right, in a 3-way, 5-way move, right? So let me do this. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is a correction, right? So in a WXY correction, and we could be looking for further move to the downside. So if you like parallel channels, you could just suck it up and call it a wedge. You got so many ways of trading the market, right? So you don't have to trade it like, you know, only by using like Elliott wave or using volume or using all of that good stuff. You got so many ways of looking at the market, right? So you got a parallel channel, you got a WXY correction, you also got a spike in volume, right? So most people are basically going to be looking for this trend line next, 360, right? Okay, primary take profits, and you got your MACD fading away, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. I mean, continuation pattern, okay? You just look for a continuation pattern, right? So look for a continuation pattern. You got your, this itself could be a W three-way move. This could be X, and then you're going to be getting this Y correction right there, right? That's also possible for right now. Even though you got this internal WXY correction, it could be a WXY correction within a WXY correction. You see what I'm saying? So just like you get a five-way structure like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's an ugly one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? So within this five-way structure, you know you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you get these sub waves, right? Just like that WXY correction, you can get the same thing, right? You can do the same thing. You can get the same thing, right? So yeah, but let's see. Ether definitely could, could possibly break this level if we're gonna be getting like a big more, a big volume. Okay, a bit more volume. We could possibly break it and suck it up right there. That's going to be a nice trade, right? That's going to be a nice trade, right? That's going to be 6%, right? Last time we got a nice 6% right there, 390 to basically 420. And we could get this move down or even down like a 14% drop. So, hey, what's up, Mark? Yes, I already talked about the alt position and Zelica, Tether, Exact, Cosmos, and storage. So did not take any position on BTC. All right, guys, I'm gonna basically call it a day. We've been streaming for an hour, so you can just rewind it and watch Isaac, storage, Cosmos, and Tether. Right, they're almost hitting, about hit, take profit level, right? So. When do you buy Link? I mean, Link, just buy the dip, man. If you're a long-term hodler, just buy the dip. Don't try to trade it, right? Because don't try to trade it. Buy the dip if you believe in it, right? Don't try to don't try to trade it. Just buy the dip. Buy the dip. Buy weekly, monthly, whatever you want to do, right? Because it is moving in a triangular formation. We got another support we're going to be looking at, right? We're going to be looking for right there, just about like 10.7, right? 10.5. If we break it, we just have to suck it up once again and look for the big move right there all the way down to $7. So you can either wait for $7 to $8 range or just buy the dip all the way down here, right? So. All right, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in, man. Make sure to hit the likes. Make sure to basically subscribe to Send Crypto. Make sure to share our channel. If you're looking to join the premium group, send me a message. I'm going to give you the link to my Discord channel for, live discussion on all this, trade setups and alt setups also. All right. I just don't trade BTC all the time. Sometimes I don't need to trade BTC once again. All right. Alt are more juicy and they give you better profits. And I trade for a living, so I have to basically take those moves, not just BTC, right? All right, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in.